Hi everyone, welcome to Startup Chicago. I'm Bijal Patel.
And I'm Samantha Frontera.
And Samantha, you know, Chicago is fast becoming one of the biggest hubs for startup companies and entrepreneurs.
Bijal, it certainly is, and one of them is Swap.com, the largest online consignment shop that started 4 years ago right here in Chicago.
And in 2017, Samantha, one of their top priorities is to add new jobs to the marketing team right here at their downtown office. So let's check out who's hiring in Chicago. Swap.com is the fastest growing online retailer for pre-owned clothing, household items, and sporting goods, and they're looking for new employees who are experts in marketing and technology.
Designers, copywriters, analytics, but ultimately the connective tissue is this reliance on data. And Chicago is such a great place for that kind of talent, especially in a retail context.
And at Swap.com's warehouse in Bolingbrook, their goal is to add new employees there to handle all the items that are posted online. The website makes it easy for people to sell their pre-owned items. You just print a prepaid label, pack your box, and send it in. From there, Swap.com sorts through everything and posts them online. The average sale price is $7, and the seller gets to keep about half of that on each item.
Lots of people save money. They can be environmentally friendly and they can enjoy 1.7 million items, so you can find exactly what you want and nobody else is going to have it.
And buyers can rest assured that they're getting top-notch quality pre-owned items.
Once people try Swap.com, they say, wow, I'm gonna shop this way all the time, because they're amazed they cannot tell that it's pre-owned. There's no difference because we have such a high bar for quality.
Since 2012, Swap.com has raised more than $50 million, making it one of the best funded startups in the Chicago area.
Welcome to Startup Chicago. I'm Sandra Guy. Chicago is showing off its technology chops in a new way by training elementary school students how to write computer code. Accenture, a consulting firm, sponsors a program called Hour of Code aimed at getting kids excited about coding and computer technology.
With kids, the first thing is to develop out an interest. You have many opportunities to actually give them the skills, but you got to create the interest and for them to sort of self-want to learn. And when we did this Hour of Code, what I saw when I was in that classroom was just how bright these kids really were. And they're just soaking up information, right? So it doesn't matter what you're actually talking to them about, they will soak it up if they're interested. And so creating a way for them to get interested and then sustaining that interest is the way I think that you get people involved in technology, and to be able to say and describe it in a way that's easy for people to understand.
A Lincoln Park elementary school, the Oscar Mayer Magnet School, puts its students through the Hour of Code. 12-year-old Leo Singer says he's excited about what he can do with his new coding skills when he grows up.
Well, if I learn more, like going into high school and college, take more and more classes, and then if that's the thing I want to do in the future, go towards like developing games and other games and things like that.
Jill Kittinger, a middle school teacher, says she considers coding an important new aspect of literacy.
It's really kind of sparked at our school sort of a new step in terms of understanding that is a form of literacy, and a form of literacy that we want to be responsible for helping our students to learn.
Teaching children these skills, along with science, math, and engineering, is more important than ever as the demand for such jobs grows. And so does a shortage of qualified workers.
I'm Fritz Goldman with Startup Chicago. I'm chatting today with Brett Blivens, who's the Senior Venture Associate here at TechNexus. Thanks for joining us today.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Excited to be here.
Brett, thinking about the local venture landscape, who are some of the players and what are we talking about as far as like dollars?
Starting from kind of the earlier stages, so areas like accelerators and universities and the places where companies really get their start. Places like Matter focused on healthcare, investment firms like Hyde Park Angels, who does what I guess I would call venture at scale, focusing on a lot of different industries, a lot of different companies, very entrepreneur friendly, very fast moving. You know, outside of just Chicago, but in the Midwest, you have firms in Indianapolis like High Alpha, or in Ohio like Drive Capital, that support companies at the later stages. So overall, a lot happening and kind of mirroring Chicago's very diverse industrial economy.
I understand that the IPO market was pretty soft in 2016. Does that also mean that 2017 is going to be that way, or is it looking better? And what about venture capital leading into that?
I think in Chicago or in Illinois, slightly down in terms of capital invested, about the same or a little bit up in terms of deal volume, so relatively flat in that sense. But there is a lot of capital out there to be invested in Chicago startups. One of the nice things about raising venture capital today for a startup is that you don't have to be restricted by borders. You don't have to only find investors in Chicago or even in the United States.
So everybody's probably familiar with the term angel investor from Shark Tank. What do you think about how one would approach an angel, and what are some of the best practices if I've got a great business idea?
The other thing is to really kind of know your customer. In that case, you're selling a portion of your business to that investor, to know exactly what they look for, know what their background is, know the people that are going to be able to help you. Finding investors that know what you're doing and can be a long-term partner is kind of where I think companies should focus.
Brett, thanks so much for joining us today. Really appreciated this.
We talk about Chicago being one of the largest startup scenes in the US, but you're probably wondering, where do they get work done? Studies suggest by 2020, it is expected that 40% of the population will either be freelancing or self-employed, and they'll need co-working spaces. The Shift is just one of the co-working spots located in Lakeview, Chicago, and it's owned by entrepreneur Nicole Vasquez.
So we go beyond just providing a great workspace, and we really focus on providing an environment that allows people to strike up conversations with each other, collaborate, hire each other. We really want to cultivate a friendly, fun, comfortable environment.
In just under 2 years, Vasquez is already launching a second space. The Shift 2 is going to be located in Logan Square. Vasquez says there's a demand for more co-working spaces in the city.
I believe that there should be spaces in the neighborhood, just like the Shift, whether that's us opening or other people opening their own spaces, just like there's neighborhood cafes, and there's also Starbucks.
Co-living in a shared economy has become very popular, with more people sharing resources. The number of people who have roommates has actually doubled since the 80s.
Thanks for watching Startup Chicago.
Stay tuned for more trending news on startups in the city.
And be sure to join us next time.